I met Mike Mulcare through Tony Gonzalez when he was campaigning, and Mike was a member of the Friends of Douglas County, and we quickly became friends. We had kind of same interests, and I liked the way he was going with that, and I was concerned about the community just like he was. It was a good matchup.
I met Commissioner Mulcare as the pastor of Tranquil AME Church here in Douglasville, Georgia. Unlike most politicians, I did not meet him as a result of his running for an office. He just came by to introduce himself to me as the new pastor of Tranquil, and that was about 9 years ago. But the thing that really shocked me about Commissioner Mulcare was that he did not come around only when it was election time. He would come to our midday Bible study. He would come to some of our worship services after worshiping at his place of worship. He would just drop by some days during the week, and we would talk or have lunch. He was just a nice guy. We kind of got along pretty well together. I consider him a friend and even more a brother.
I'm pretty sure that after he was in office, that I probably sat with him at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, because he was so totally involved immediately after becoming a commissioner. And I don't think that I was attending a meeting where I was opposing something at the time, but I do know that he and I would sit together quite often at Chamber of Commerce meetings and discuss the things that were going on in the county. And I'm pretty sure that's where I first really sat down with a good conversation with him.
I first met Mr. Mulcare during the time when our community, Mount Vernon Point subdivision, was going through changes. They were widening Fairburn Road from a 2-lane to a 4-lane, and we were in need of a traffic light where Shoal School Road is now located. And Mike was very instrumental in helping us obtain that goal of getting a traffic light. He was our commissioner at the time, and I also worked with him on his re-election campaign. So he became a very good friend, not only to myself, but also to the community.
I came to know Mike about 20 years ago. We were members of the same church, St. Teresa's Catholic Church, and he is a member of a men's group called the Knights of Columbus. The Knights of Columbus do a lot of charitable things, and Mike readily joined and became an active member of that organization.
I came to know Commissioner Mulcare because when I moved to Douglasville, Douglas County, in, I believe it was 2006, I had always been connected to my community. So one of the first things that I did was reach out to all of my elected officials, and I asked for them to come to, of all things, a garage sale. So I had a garage sale, and I asked for all of my elected officials to come out to meet me, and he was the only one that showed up. So since he was the only one that showed up, me, Mike, my mother, my daughter, and his wife, we all became really good friends. And we really connected, and throughout the years, Mike has always been like an extended part of our family. He always asks about my mom. And if there's invitations that go out, Mike is always invited. And throughout the years, even with my daughter growing up, he would ask about her. He would send, what do you call them? Projects that she could do for science fairs. He would send them to her for her to check out. So that was the way that me and Mike got connected, was by him coming to that garage sale. And I love to tell that story because, you know, who comes out to a garage sale to meet their elected officials? Well, he actually came to meet me, so that was pretty awesome.
You know, he was sort of an A to Z commissioner. He was involved with so many things that are going on in our county. From A, which would be the arts. He was involved with the cultural arts, then on the Cultural Arts Council, Center and Council. He actually put on a very nice exhibit several times and contributed a lot to that. If we want to skip right on through to Z, our animal shelter, of course, is not a zoo, but it does have animals in it.
I've seen him do several things. One is, I'm heavily involved in the Special Olympics community in Douglas County, and Mike has always been, in his role as a Knight of Columbus and as a commissioner, very involved in supporting that community. He proactively comes to many of our events. As recently as 2 weeks ago, he actually officiated at a bocce tournament for special needs in Douglas County.
It's actually hard to name anything specific because Mike has been instrumental in accomplishing so much. When we were part of District 2, when we were part of his district before it was rezoned, and we were no longer connected with him from that perspective, we continued to keep that connection with Mike, and he was always able to keep us up to date. In fact, I could just filter a series of questions to him, and he would be able to answer those, and oftentimes I would still reach out to our new commissioner, but I knew that I could get a quick answer from Mike, and he was always responsive. So we've always been very grateful for that.
I feel like Mike Mulcare has done a lot in Douglas County. One of the main things that I've been personally involved with Mike is through the Humane Society, and we have a fundraiser that Mike started for spay and neuter, and that's been a very successful fundraiser. And Mike has always been passionate about the way our little four-legged citizens are treated. So I know the new animal shelter was a passion of his. There was a lot of people that worked on that animal shelter to get it become what it is and where it is and it completed. I know Mike was very instrumental in that. And I've worked, and he asked me to be part of the committee for the spay and neuter fundraiser that he started with his wife, Peggy. It was for their 50th wedding anniversary, and he wanted to parlay that over to a fundraiser for we could take the monies and use it toward the spay and neuter programs that Douglas County had.
I saw him respect other human beings. I saw him not as a user of people, but as a lover of people. For me, a pastor, that is very important and very critical, especially in these days when some politicians seem to be so very plastic. He seemed to be so very real. That impressed me and will continue to impress me, I would imagine, for the remainder of my days.
That's an awesome question because, you know you probably just saw the big old smile that came on my face, just knowing that, again, he has been just an awesome, awesome integral part of the community. I hope that he just has a ball and takes his time to enjoy himself. He's always going to be a public figure here in the community, so wherever he goes, he's still going to get love, he's still going to get hugs, he's probably still going to get questions. But from this time on, just relax and enjoy being part of the community instead of someone on show, on work all the time, because that's been, for the years that he's been commissioner, he has had a 24-hour on-call presence for the community. So take time out for yourself. Whatever it is, Mike, that you want to do, you do it and do it to the best. Do it with your wife and just enjoy your life, enjoy your time, and just know that you have just many, many, many people everywhere that absolutely love you, like me and my family.
I would express to Mike, which when he did convey to Felicia and I in our last meeting that he was thinking of retiring, I would tell him I wish him the best of luck, but I'm really, really sad to see him go. Even though he's not our commissioner anymore, I felt that we still could rely on him to be an advocate for our community, for Douglas County. So I feel that Douglas County will be at a great loss without Mike Mulcare.
Good luck, continue your hard work, and I hope your animal shelter and Douglas County Special Olympics can continue to count on you in the future.
As Mike's leaving office and retiring, it really is bittersweet because he's done so much for Douglas County. But also, you know, there comes a time when you do need to retire, and he'll be greatly missed by the citizens of Douglas County and government also.
Well, I would suggest to him that he not even consider the word retirement, but that he would consider the word renaissance. The Renaissance marked the end of one period and the beginning of another. It marked the end of the Middle Ages and the rise of the modern era. I would suggest to Commissioner Mike that he would ask himself a question. The question is, if you were doing what you absolutely loved, what would you be doing? If you were paid for doing what you absolutely loved, what would you be doing? Your Renaissance now will give you the freedom to do what you want, to be as active as you want, to work the job that you want, to be in a place where money doesn't dictate your choices. One day I hope to be there, but you are there now. If you were being paid for doing what you absolutely love, what would you be doing? And I suggest that you focus on whatever that is and do it to the best of your ability. This is not the end of your life. This is the beginning of a new life, and I pray that you will enjoy it to its fullest. May the good that you've done in the lives of others be multiplied in your life exponentially for the remainder of your life.
Well, number one, I'm really sorry that you have decided to retire. I don't really blame you. You've worked hard. But I do want to be able to sit down with you, maybe at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon, and please stay involved. I know that there are many, many things in our county that you have been a part of, and I haven't talked to you, so I don't know what your plans are, but I think probably you will be very much involved with what's going on in the county. We have so much that's happening here that will move our county forward economically, as a leading county, commercially, and I really do hope that you will get yourself involved also with the school system, because that's a major, major part of the population, and it's so important. So, Mike, stay busy.
Well, I actually did share some sentiments on his Facebook page, and I will reiterate that he has been an outstanding advocate for Douglas County in general, and particularly for our district, and the things that he's done even for animal services with the annual fundraiser that he does. We certainly are always there to support that, and we'll continue to as long as he continues to do it. And the results of his efforts throughout Douglas County is just, things that you can't even just name one. There's just so many, and we're just really going to miss Mike, and we wish him the best.
Oh, go have fun. You have worked so hard for Douglas County, and I'm so appreciative that you are in Douglas County and helped build a wonderful Douglas County and expand it so much, and turning the baton over to somebody else is just fantastic. So we can continue with Douglas County, and I'm hoping that you and your wife and family get to go on many a good vacation and just have a lot of fun now that you're going to be out on your own.
I think we all deserve retirement. I think the way Mike became in office was sort of organic. I don't think he intentionally went out to be a public servant, but I think it just happened over the course of what was happening in Douglas County. And I think he's always been an advocate for Douglas County, and I think even in his retirement, he will continue to be that. I don't think he's just going to go away. I think he'll still be someone that Douglas County and the citizens of Douglas County can always depend on in whatever capacity he becomes after retirement. I'm sure it's something he's still going to contribute to this county, and I really appreciate that from him. I've got to, all the things I volunteered for with Mike, Mike's a very honest person, he doesn't try to do things just for his honor, but I've got to actually say that his little support system is his wife, Peggy, and she's just as honest and sweet and dedicated to Douglas County, and they together have made a tremendous impact for us, and we appreciate her and Mike.
Well, it's been almost 13 years, and it just doesn't seem that long. I want to spend these last few moments with you to express my gratitude to the many people who have helped me in so many ways over those years. It would be impossible to mention every person, but you know who you are. Be it a kind note at the right moment, or an encouraging word during a rough time for me, or just an occasional thank you for serving. I in turn fervently thank you. Along the way, I've been privileged to work with some fine public servants, both elected and non-elected. Several commissioners, including 2 fine chairmen, who have made my being a commissioner for 3+ terms a very enriching experience. And in speaking of public servants, I would be very remiss in not acknowledging our great county employees. Many of them you see, our road crews, sheriff deputies, or firemen and EMTs. Perhaps you've called 911 or spoken to someone in code enforcement. But there's so many invisible servant employees who don't just work for a paycheck, but work to make Douglas County a better place. So thank you to our outstanding Douglas County employees. Since Judge Emerson swore me in for my first term in fall of 2005, the people of 3rd District have repeatedly had the confidence and trust to re-elect me in every election since. I always try to keep my pride in check, but the fact that you let me be your commissioner is one of the proudest experiences of my life. Thank you all, and God bless Douglas County.